Thank you all for coming to the Defiance panel. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know I'm very excited. And I'm not going to say a lot, except that this is a kick-ass cast, and you are kick-ass fans. And let's bring you together. First of all, I'd like to introduce Mr. Kevin Murphy, the executive producer and
all right.
So we have a little reel for you of highlights from all the crazy stuff that went down in season 1 of Defiance. Let's roll that. Pretty cool. So Kevin Murphy, I'm going to start with you. It seems like the things that happened at the end of the season essentially put a lot of people out of work or basically destroyed their lives. Nice going. But Arisa's in a different place. Amanda, Lord only knows what's going on with you. The Tar family has encountered a few difficulties. So it basically, is everyone going to start out season 2 in a different place? Is it going to be like a radical reboot kind of?
Yeah, the goal for the end of season 1 was to essentially take the chessboard and flip it up and knock all the pieces all over the place. So every single character has a reset at the end of the season. Nolan is trying to figure out what happened to Arissa. What happened to Arissa is a big mystery. The Tar family, Daytech obviously is no longer there. What happened to Daytech is something that we'll have to wait to find out until the premiere. But in the meantime, Stama has taken over the crime family without
crime family?
Just trying to.
Amanda.
There's a helper. Oh, nice.
It's a friendly
Dad.
Okay, I'm sitting here and like do nothing but look at the whole Amanda is in a new line of work. Also, you can make of that what you will. It's a very interesting line of work. That's not everybody. Yeah.
So, Stephanie, is Arissa like a god now? Are they gonna, is it all gonna be like worship Arissa time in season 2?
Well, they worship me anyway.
She's a ginger god.
She'd be the most petulant god in existence.
Who knows? I'm waiting to find out myself, so yeah, they're questions for Kevin, definitely.
Arissa's fate will be front and center of the season 2 premiere. And we will learn something about it that will raise many, many, many more questions.
Well, it seems like Nolan and Arissa, basically when season 1 began, it was all about, like much of it was about their relationship and how they'd come together and the frictions between them. Then they went through a whole bunch of changes. Are you, as actors, kind of hoping there's an evolution or change in their relationship just to keep it fresh, or did you like how you want to kind of keep it the same?
I feel sad. I don't want it to change too much. I mean, Arissa's growing up, so there's changes that will naturally occur. I mean, just as a girl of her age as well as being an alien. So he's got to deal with all that.
Yeah, and Nolan's slowly growing up too, which is really, really sad actually, because I love it like he is. But I think there's so much ground and room in that relationship. It's definitely the best and richest and most wonderful parent-child relationship I've ever played. So I love it, And you know, Steph is a great actress because she does manage to be like a really petulant teenager. A lot, and I know that's a lot of work for her in the morning to do all of that acting, so it's great.
So Jamie, with Stama, we could think of what happens with her in season 2 as a career change, but I don't, because I think she was really the one running things along in some ways. So is it more of a transition than a radical change for her?
Well, you know, Stama comes from such a different society, and here she is with her family unit, kind of trying to sustain it in a brand new world, but surrounded by other women who are far more liberated. And I think that, you know, Kasteth and men, they put their women in cages, and I think that she was trying to control from within that cage, but maybe this season she has got a taste of what it's like on the outside world.
It's sort of the classic story of the immigrant woman who has come and the social mores of the old country no longer apply. Yet the patriarch of the family doesn't necessarily recognize that, and it's the struggle of, as you integrate into a melting pot society, how do you balance the way things used to be, where you came from, and the way things are where you live now? And that's one of the fundamental things that's tearing the fabric apart here in season 2.
That's what is so exciting for me about the show, is that we've built such an intricate society and this brand new world, but really it gives us a new way of looking at such important and relatable themes from a brand new perspective, and talking about some really interesting, important issues. And yeah, in the first season we created this amazing world, and then in season 2 we're able to kind of flip it and destroy it.
And occupy it.
So I have to ask the question that's on everyone's mind. Did Stama really love or have feelings for Kenya, or did she kill her? And I love shows where those questions go together so well.
She sure looked dead to me.
She was very convincing.
I think that I enjoyed the experience, and just because you kill somebody, it does not mean that you didn't love them. If you think that is the case, you have never truly been in love.
I'd keep an eye on your
Or maybe it's just the characters I play.
I love you to death. Who said she's dead anyway?
You know, I can truly say that nobody will ever love Kenya as much as I loved her ever again.
They were sort of a lesbian Sid and Nancy.
So Jesse, Alec's going to have to step up this season. He's the man of the family, right? And he's establishing his own family, and yet he's got to deal with his parents' drama, which is endless. Is it kind of a different dynamic for him?
Yeah, it's just father issues. Sums up that character. And mother issues. Yeah, big time parenting issues.
Honestly, I think if I were your character, mate, I'd have far more mother issues than father.
Yeah.
That hug outside the bath, that was wrong.
But the family baths are totally normal.
They didn't have to twist my arm to shoot that.
Humans are so caught up on your body.
They're hung up on your bodies.
What is it you say in this world? Incest is best. I don't know what. We don't know
One
what
of those things that we say on set that you actually shouldn't say when you're not on set.
These are all people I keep nothing from.
I still remember the day when they shot that scene, and then I was with Jesse and Jamie after, and Jesse was like, Jamie kissed me in the scene, and I was like, what? She kissed me, and I said, well, how did that make you feel? Confused.
It's actually show me on the teddy bear where the bad actress.
Show me how that plush toy wear.
We were shooting that scene, and you know, it takes a while when you shoot a scene, and at one point, Jesse came in and he kind of flung himself on the bed, and he went, oh my God, I'm so confused. And I went, oh honey, you're a teenager. That's a good feeling, stay there.
Remember when we were shooting that, our director, Michael Nankin, after the first take, Jamie kissed me, and then the second take, Michael came up to me and said, you know what would be weirder? If you kissed her back. said, I'll try it.
I'll try it a dozen times, see if it works.
I need to rehearse a couple times.
By the way, it's a really tough job.
I just am trying to wrap my head around the fact, or someone thought the Tar family could be weirder. I can't comprehend that. So, what is it like to be resurrected, Grant?
You know, it's no big deal. I don't know if anyone knows this, but on IMDb I actually played Jesus Christ a few years ago. So, in the movie in Peru. They should do. So this is actually my second resurrection.
Third time for the car.
After it's just going to become like another day at the office. It's very strange coming back from the dead. By the way, I know everything about all of you. And some of it's disgusting. It's very antisocial.
So, in terms of season 2, I have a feeling, Little Bird told me, that we're going to be seeing some towns maybe outside of Defiance. Maybe Nolan's going to be on the road.
We are going to visit New Los Angeles.
We've been meeting friends and playing well with others and sharing toys.
And Pinks is still there in the future. Still there.
So on the road looking for Arissa, and what is going, like, just, come on, I want your character and Amanda to just get together already.
Oh, this here?
I'm in the wrong business.
Well, I can pitch you an idea, Kevin. You know, season 2 opens.
Bring it.
Amanda's out of a job. Her sister's missing. Everything's a mess. So, in a weak moment.
Very weak moment.
That's what I count on. Weak moment.
That's your stock and trade. But seriously, Amanda's life is terrible, right? Is that, for an actress, is that fun to play that, like, everything's basically falling apart for her?
Yeah, no, it's really, I'm really excited about season 2 because it's good to see everything kind of stripped away and Amanda just really having to deal with a lot of crap.
Stucco.
So yeah, it's exciting. I mean, that's what makes the show so much fun to work on, is that you just never know what's going to happen next.
I hear the ball.
I hear rumblings are on the way.
I know
Shut up,
what
people.
Nolan, can you go take care of that? Detectar.
Woohoo!
Stucco happens.
Although I'm a little sad, as I told Tony earlier, that Detectar does not have a Scottish accent, because that would be amazing, right?
Maybe season 2. He's not actually an alien, he's from Edinburgh.
He gets a mate to a head injury and starts talking with an accent. Right, Sam, I've had enough of this rubbish.
Jamie could do sort of South London.
I didn't think there was a difference between being from Edinburgh and being an alien.
I'm a Norwegian, so there's sort of a legal alien.
So, this is a huge, you know, basically Daytech achieves his ambition, the town is his, and then everything just falls completely apart. He's such a powerful, driven, obsessive, possibly crazy guy. How do you think that this impacts him? Like, what's next for him? Is he just broken or fighting back harder than ever?
Well, I think that in many ways, Stama obviously helped, fine-tune this blunt instrument, Daytach, and he was doing well. And then, unfortunately, a leopard sometimes just can't, unfortunately, change their spots, and he unfortunately very shortly into his mayorship. It was Daytach in the library with the letter openers. I think somebody somebody tweeted that actually. It was quite funny. So yeah, I guess he screwed up big time, and he unfortunately next season, all I can say is that in the first few episodes, I won't be bathing with my gal as a girl. So Daytag isn't in Defiance in season 2 at the moment. I can't really say where he is, but he's not living at home.
He's making new friends.
He's gone to San Diego.
They don't take baths.
Yeah.
Daytag takes a shower.
That's an aberration to him, actually. He has to shampoo his hair.
Soap on a rope. Soap on a rope, that's what they call Daytag.
Soap on a rope.
White is the new black.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Moving swiftly on. He's trying to improve himself, but I think in season 2 that his time away from Defiance, there's certain situations that he gets into that may hopefully change the way Daytag thinks and
Trying to
feels.
improve himself. He's reading a lot of self-help books in season 2. Power now. The Art of Happiness. Well, I think he tried to improve himself by marrying Stama, but I'm not really sure he deserves her. You can only pull a Castellan up so much.
Plaster over a scar, I guess.
Well, my secret theory about Defiance is that it's about strong women and the men who are just trying to keep up.
Yeah, Defiance is all about the ladies. Always has been.
It is, and Nolan's just Daytag. The guys are just standing there going, what just happened?
It's kind of fun though, because the scenery's cool. So we wander around chasing the girls. Oh, I've got a cool car. He's got an awesome plasma blade, so we're happy.
You're just the muscle, you know that, right?
Exactly.
The muscle and the sex
We
toy.
just lift heavy things and get to stand beside Stephanie, Julie, and Jamie. Got to bathe with Jamie Murray. It's awful. I mean, Grant, he's been saying, do you think we can possibly write a scene where I get in the bath with because that's what Grant sounds like in my head.
In his head, assumedly that.
Aussie's bad, his Scottish accent is the beyond Mrs. Doubtfire.
Moving on.
Accept, please, to room 534.
So there's going to be some new power centers in authority, like ERAP, boo, they come to town, right? There's going to be some new characters.
Yeah, we have 2 new big characters. Niles Pottinger, who's the new provisional mayor.
Did you get the name from Harry Potter? Niles Pottinger.
It'd be cool if I had, but no. and Viceroy Marcato, who's Randall.
Infiltrator.
They're having a better panel for
But Viceroy Marcato, who is sort of the grand old man of the Republic, and they have some nasty plans for Defiance.
And those plans, I assume, would involve the mines. And Rafe, again, someone is
Someone else who has lost his
Defiance.
job. Rafe McCauley is no longer in possession of McCauley Mines.
Everyone's unemployed is the theme of season 2, I think.
Pretty much.
It's a reflection of this economy.
A big downturn.
So they're doing something terrible, involves the mines, probably something terrible down the line. It sounds like they're going to do something. Does the town unite to try to deal with these jackasses from the ERAP, or do they just squabble like normal? How's that work?
Are the 2 mutually exclusive? Much squabbling, much uniting.
Excellent. So I want to know, this is a surprise question for Jesse. Are you hoping for the pitter-patter of little tar feet in season 2?
Oh God, no, please.
Kevin? I don't know what to say.
I don't think this character is hoping for it.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready for much.
He's not ready. He's still a baby.
He's still going through puberty himself, so, and similar to Alex, so am I. So, just the thought scares the hell out of me.
Can we all just take a moment to just observe how handsome Jesse is out of makeup and in makeup?
He's got his mother's eyes.
And for those of you who are wondering, yes, we are dating, Jesse.
It's funny, when we were shooting season 1, I went for coffee with Tony, and someone in the coffee shop recognized Tony. She came up to him and she said, "Oh, we love you in Glasgow." She's from Glasgow. And then Tony said, "Oh, it's great, I'm here shooting the new show. This is my son." And she looked at me and was like, "Well, good luck with that."
The milkman, he was very handsome. His name was Jesse. I would have thought. No, couldn't possibly be.
I'm not saying anything. But you all three, your EP is sitting right here, you all enjoy reporting 2 hours early for makeup every day, right? You enjoy that greatly?
I actually played Doc Huel. Nolan!
But that must be a really easy costume. I picture Doc Huel as just being like, you zip on the lizard suit or whatever that is.
When the lovely,
She takes longer than anybody.
yeah, when the lovely
4 hours at
trend of Keating, when she doesn't want to go into makeup, she's like, "Jesse, can you just do me today? Can you just put my makeup on?" Yeah, she has prosthetic depression, so.
Right, she can't eat or drink or she can't,
It's the worst
she can't
race.
hear, like she can't see.
Steph gets away with it because Steph has like an even bigger forehead than
I've got a wig on today.
Yeah, so she gets a prosthetic forehead and a wig, don't you love it? And a lot of paint, a lot of war paint and stuff. But I think, yeah, yours got it the worst.
Yeah,
Trina's
that's
definitely
what
got
she
it the worst.
does,
Yeah. Each race is different.
Murphy
What
has
about
all.
Sensor?
Well, Kevin, our sensor, he has a full animatronic head, which gets him down a bit, especially in summer when he's trying to eat or drink stuff. But yeah, every race has some challenges.
It's weird, it takes me 4 hours in hair and makeup.
They don't let me into hair and makeup.
Well, with Grant, they just say,
What can you do?
You're good. Arissa, do you feel it? Or Arissa, I'm sorry. Do you think Arissa is really torn between the Erathian culture and everything that she finds in Defiance and the other races? I mean, is that an increasing problem for her?
Wow. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, she's grown up with Nolan, and she basically he's everything she's ever known. Oh, I feel a bit sad. I think you're going to say that. But, yeah, she's suddenly finding herself, and with the Erathians, and she's finding out who she is, who she was born as, and she starts bonding with Sukar, and I think it's killing her that she has suddenly found almost sort of a father figure in him as well, and a friend. And, but at the same time, Nolan doesn't make it easy for her. And yeah, so there's a huge roller coaster of kind of emotions with her and the Erathians and Nolan. So it was heartbreaking on set as well, because suddenly I wasn't working with Grant as much. I was suddenly working with the Erathians, and it was kind of really strange. Like it was a whole new experience for me as well. And so we high five now again. But yeah, so there's definitely lots more for her to discover, and I can't wait to see what they go.
Yeah, but you were working with Sukar.
Judy loves Sukar. They
Love Sukar.
Noah Danby, who plays Sukar, yeah. Who I don't think originally was meant to go too far, Sukar.
Yeah, that was just a case where he was so magnetic and wonderful, and he fit the top hat so well that Steve punked it out. He originally, actually seriously, he was scheduled to die in Razor Ring.
Yeah.
And he was such a stud about it. He just took it, he was at the table read, he was heartbroken. I had a reactor coming up, you can't really kill Noah, you can't really kill Noah. I was like, the crew was upset about it.
I was crying. I was like clutching his leg.
At the table read, this big guy is doing his final lines and his goodbye scene, and he looked like he was about to, he actually started to tear up. And then finally, at the end of the 10 word, I was like, all right, screw it, you're alive.
You're the resurrection guy.
And Syfy will be back in season 2, in case anyone wants.
We're going to find out more about each of the cultures and the races in season 2, because that was something that...
A lot more about cultures, a lot more about history. We're going to spend a great deal of time in the past. We're going to fill in a lot of the holes in the story, because in the pilot we kind of throw everyone in the deep end of the water, and we don't explain a lot about the cultures and the races and stuff, which was by design. Now the fun of having the show go on for another 13 episodes is now we can really start paying off a lot of the mythology and the future history work that the staff has done.
So, I know that when it came out that Defiance is coming back next year in June. Woo! One of the major pieces of feedback that I got was, "Aw, come on, a year? We have to wait a year more." But what's cool is that the game is going to continue some of the stories. You can visit the characters. That's one way you can sort of fill in that time. Is that right, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just because season 1 is over doesn't mean that the universe stops. It continues on in the game, and we've been talking to Kevin and his group about how we can take advantage of that and really kind of do things within the game that kind of lead in to the second season. And that's really exciting about what we're doing, is the universe is constantly evolving with both the game and the show, whether the show is on or not.
And we'll be following Nolan's quest to find Arissa. That's going to take us into the video game, and Nolan will be going back into the game, and someone else at this table will enter the video game for the first time, and it's not me.
Yeah. That means more motion capture for you, Grant.
So come with me back into the game. If you want to fill in time and you're waiting for the second season, it takes too long. Come with me. Come back into the game, and Rob and the guys are trying. I don't know if you've all played the game yet, but the game's fantastic fun. I love seeing it because it's on 3 platforms. So like in my trailer, I can play in my Xboxy, and I've got my PC version, I've got my PlayStation sneaky version that the kids don't know about. You can get into the game in between seasons on the show. If you start off from the beginning, Steph's there, me, there's more that come in and out. Ren
came in for a while.
So, the characters will be popping up. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us a little.
Isn't there a contest where...
The Avatar.
Yeah, we in the first season we basically had a contest in game to get an image of one of the players on a poster. But now we're talking about a contest that actually will get that person on the set to see the set and potentially be
In the show.
in the show itself.
Well, actually, not potentially.
Yes, actually.
That would be a crummy contest.
Yeah, you might not, but no, for
You
sure.
might get on the show, you might not. No.
Yeah. No, so that's...
We've already discussed with Grant, so you can't have the high score, Grant. You have to let somebody
You're already
else
on the
win.
show, Grant. You can't be on the show.
You're already on the set.
I gotta win.
Yeah, so we're announcing the details of that, so look for it and get started on it. I mean, it's really exciting.
And there's a ton more crossover that's coming in between the seasons. So if you're up to speed on the game, what will happen is you'll actually have inroads into some of the plot lines in season 2 as we start to roll out the show. So it just keeps you A, current, and B, a little bit ahead of most of the rest of the audience.
Yeah, and again, taking advantage of the off season to maybe use a character or two. I'm not going to look at anybody, and see what happens to them while the season's not going, and kind of see how it affects what's happening in season 2.
Special request from the moderator. In season 2, can there be more docule? And now that I feel terrible about this, now that I know how awful the makeup process is.
She loves it.
I can tell you this, request granted. You notice that any mention of docule has been conspicuously absent from this panel because I don't want to spoil what's going on with docule, but it's cool.
Docule is cool.
Docule grows hair. There you go. blue cue ball with hair.
Well, and then Stama and Doc Yule start a steamy affair, and it's awesome.
Blue and white in the milk bath.
Any port in a storm, eh?
That takes away.
Those tars.
Those tars. I want to just ask the cast members if they want to share, maybe starting with Jesse, some of the feedback they've gotten, like unusual or funny or just important or emotional for you.
It's actually been really interesting online seeing everyone really like me in the pilot, and then the Hellbug episode comes around, and everyone just turned into thinking that I'm a big wussy. And then them coming around in the end. So it's fun to see the evolution of people liking, then hating, then liking my character.
You're doing something right, kid.
Jamie? Oh, just, have you encountered feedback from fans or feedback to your character?
Oh, it's been amazing. And the feedback's been amazing. There's, I mean, on Twitter is where I have quite a lot of back and forth with some of my fans. There's a Twitter handle called Stammer's Bath Beads.
I started that. That's
There's a Twitter handle called Women of Defiance.
Yes.
They are, I don't know if they're here today, but they are so funny. So the wonderful thing about this kind of brand new world that we live in with social media and stuff is, I'm a big geeky fan of some of you guys, you know. So I have a lot of entertainment, and you are very funny and perceptive. And you know, one of the other things that I'm really proud about this show is, you know, we'll spend hours talking about our characters and this and that, and this like little nuance that we want to show, and you know, we'll be giggling off, yeah, we're going to do it. Oh, he won't notice. Let's just do it. And you know, then I read some of these blogs, and you guys see everything. You see all these things that we're doing, and all these little subtle kind of contradictions and stuff. And as an artist, I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, Jacob Clifton on television Kick is another one who writes like this amazing like 21, 22-page analysis of every
Television
single
without
episode. It's amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
What about you, Tony?
No, I agree. I think it's great to read all the, as Jesse was saying on Twitter and Facebook, all the fans' sort of reaction. And as Jamie was saying there, it's even sometimes when you're watching the episodes and you actually get ideas for your character from the feedback that fans are saying, oh, I liked you this week, I didn't like you this week, you were bad at this. So it's great to get that feedback, none more so than the mother of Daytak, or my mother Mary, who was watching one of the pilot, and she said to me, she goes, oh my God, what did they do to your nose? And I said, what do you mean, what did they do to you? That prosthetic piece, it's unbelievable. I said, Mother, that was not a prosthetic piece. That's the nose that you gave me. I guess the white makeup makes it so. See, I know they build your hat, yeah? So prominent look about it, shading, you know. So no, but you know, the feedback from the fans has been fantastic, and I think it's been very humbling, and it's a real joy to have that feedback. So long may it continue. Thank you.
I think right now I want to take some questions from you guys, so there's a mic right there if you want to just line up. Hellbug guy, you're going to definitely get it.
With the real Stammer Tar, please stand up. Cool.
Shoot. This lady at the mic.
My name is Chris. Hi, I'm really enjoying the show, so thank you so much. One request from Rob. I really want to be playing with you guys, and I'm not really a gamer, and so there is no instruction in the game. I got on the game, and I just struggle and give it up, and I really want to be playing with you guys.
Do you have a 7-year-old in your life at all? But they'll teach you in like 3 minutes.
Do what you can do, and this is what I do, and Rob will probably be more helpful in this. But I always just Google, go like Defiance opening blah blah help. And there's a million struggles.
And actually, we are working on making that experience much easier to
Could
use.
you just include a 7-year-old in every box?
14, you get 14 days of a 7-year-old.
Hellbug guy.
Alright, on the flip side of that, a lot of dedicated gamers have been asking for crossover content that takes more than 15 minutes to complete.
Yeah.
But on the show side of it, Hellbug's obviously got one episode. Raiders and 99ers got a mention. Can we see more crossover content on both ways?
I totally forgot the question. What
I'm sorry, you have a Hellbug in your head.
Are we going to get more and longer crossover content that's going to take quite a long amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, the direct crossover storyline stuff takes a long time for us to produce, but we will be doing some things that aren't necessarily story related, but will last quite a bit longer. It's something that we can produce that can be redone over and over and over that is still crossover content, but we can generate it in a much more efficient manner. But yes. What's that?
On the flip side of the show, because Hellbug's only got like one episode, and
Did you like the Hellbugs? Not your Hellbug, if you like them.
We understand that you're attached to Hellbugs, Rob. But you know, the amazing thing is our VFX team, who did a lot of that Hellbug stuff, just got nominated for an Emmy. Is the basic content in the game. And this is often what we come into. Remember, this is the first time anybody's ever tried to do this simultaneously. Things like the Hellbugs, which the guys in the game design and then they occur again and again and again, very simply. For us, we have to go through enormous hoops to execute on screen in the show. And the Hellbugs is one of those. So once we do that, it gets a bit easier to do it again. But sometimes what we come into is, you basically got to win an Emmy to get the Hellbugs on screen.
But we are doing some more of that. Like, for example, in season 2, Varys, who's a character in the game, is going to enter the show.
Yeah. All right. So there's a need for it.
That's one example.
Yeah.
Next question.
Sorry. The next time you guys say something, say spoiler alert. I hadn't seen the last episode yet.
Dude, this whole panel's been a spoiler.
But I couldn't miss you guys for the world.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Sorry we spoiled the last episode.
That's okay. What I know you said the second season going to go into more history, but I want to know, is there any going to be a book to take it back prior to the invasion to kind of catch us up? Because I want to know exactly what happened to bring the races together. You know, the accident that happened to
Season
start everything.
Yes.
We're going to do a
There is a
prequel.
season 12.
We're going to do a 2-hour prequel of when Daytak and Nolan are little boys and they play together. That's what started the whole Pale Wars.
You've got a lot of child references today.
Hey, big fan of the show. Thank you. I have a question for Kevin. Why did you make me write music for Bugs?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the fabulous Bear McCreary.
Well, the second question is, are you going to make me do it again in season 2?
The reason why I made you write music for Bugs, because you are the best there is at what you do.
Writing for Bugs. I would say yes, actually. I think that's a pretty...
And good luck trying to get away from us.
Awesome, thanks again.
Thank you, Bear McCreary, for your help.
So this is mostly for Jamie.
I really liked Warehouse 13 and I liked you in that one really cool. So my main question is, like, what's the main difference between working from that sci-fi to this sci-fi?
Well, you know, I'm an alien.
No, besides that.
Well, they were both just such wonderful characters, you know, which drew me to the piece, and they're such complex women, and you know, Helena was pretty tortured, but found redemption. Seems like Summer might be going in the other direction. You know, one of the reasons that I love working in the sci-fi genre is not only that the issues are so big, it's life or death, it's good versus evil, it's courage and hope and avarice and greed, and they're really big, it's a big emotional spectrum for us to work in as actors, and that's really exciting. But also the women are really strong, standalone characters. They're not, you know, necessarily just used to colour, you know, the male hero's part or as a window into the male psyche. They are standalone characters on their own, and they're powerful and complex, and that's a real joy, and that's a joy with Summer and Helena.
Hi, I wanted to ask about the scrappers in the game. They're really creepy and ominous. They should really be getting more. You got robots coming out of nothing, so shouldn't that be more of a concern for people?
People in general, you mean? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of things in the game that should disturb people. I mean, we've got hellbugs that are on fire. And miners who basically are turning people into cyborgs. But yeah, people will start to get more and more concerned with those guys coming soon.
Okay, I just wanted to ask that since a lot of previous shows on the Syfy network have done crossovers, is there any chance of, you know, finding out that Amanda's in Alpha or the Kaziri's in Arkham and stuff like that?
No.
I guess my question is for the whole entire cast. I really like the makeups on the show. Y'all have a great makeup artist on there, so I was wondering, what's your favorite makeup on the show to see on the set?
I like my makeup. I look really pretty.
If I was chocolate, I'd eat myself.
I get enormous pleasure being on set and seeing Kevin Arsensoff and Jessica our Liberata together.
Yeah.
There was
Long and the short of it.
There was one point in which they were having this really spirited, animated conversation, and she's like, you know, 4 feet, and he's like 7 feet, and they were having this animated, and we got this awesome picture that Tom Lieber from the studio took, and it reminds you you're on a show that is not like anything else you've ever worked on before when you're on the set of Defiance. So I would say those two are my favorites.
There are people who we hang out every day, and you know, you're kind of like 2 months in, you'll be in the lunch line, and some person that you don't know at all will start chatting to you, and you'll be like, oh, okay. And then you'll realize, oh my God, that's Kevin. That's the sensor. I've been hanging out with him for weeks.
It took me 2 months to actually see Jessica without the Liberata stuff on. So sometimes even for us. So the makeup, so many of them is incredible.
So the first
two. I till the wrap party, and I was like, please, I have to see her.
The first to arrive in the morning, and God bless them, the last to leave at night. You know, so.
I went to watch Larissa's scene actually with Little Larissa, and it was about two months into the shoot, and the crew, I sort of stepped on as myself. I was just in my jeans. And everyone looked at me really strangely, and nobody, everyone I'd been working with for 2 months, there was nobody that recognised who I was. I could be anyone sat up here.
I was handing out orders at the wrap party.
I'm just picturing the security guys being like, could you leave the set? And you're like, no, really, I'm on the show.
I think my transformation is the best. Because I'm great, I play Nolan.
You're so committed, he came in prosthetic today.
I have to show my ID to get into this panel, actually.
Granville is another woman of defiance.
Do we have a question?
My question is, I wonder how has Defiance, the game, influenced the storyline in the first season? And my second question is, will the game be available inside a web browser or on iPad?
Well, the first is that the game and the show were developed concurrently, so that was kind of the big idea of the intellectual property from the beginning, was to create something that has a shared mythology. So as we developed what the races were, what they looked like, various aliens, the world history, that was all stuff that was sort of like a giant game of improv, where we would suggest one thing, and then Tryon would suggest something else coming back, and we would work very hard to kind of have it all happen concurrently at the same time. So within the context of that process, there was always something new and fantastic that we noticed when playing the game, and you think, oh, that'd be a great thing to like stick into, especially now that the game's up and running. You know, we'll find things that we want to put into season 2, where there's like little cool visual flourishes that one of the Tryon artists put in that I plan to ask Gary in season 2 to like integrate into the show. Certainly our alien flora and fauna. There's all kinds of back and forth.
Yeah, we share assets, you know, back and forth all the time. We have a site in particular that we just throw our assets on, let them know when they've got it, they can look at it, they show us their stuff. So yeah, it's really kind of a constant back and forth, which is great.
And we have a massive wiki that's maintained by our mythology coordinator, Brian Alexander, that has hundreds and hundreds of pages of articles of history, political information, how Goulanite goes through Hellbug processing, and eventually becomes the petrol hall that runs the vehicles, which is what the little shiny blue thing is on the top of the Dodge Charger. My Charger. And that's all accessible to our artists, our costume designer, the Tryon programmers and artists, and our writing staff.
And just quickly on that, how they have influenced each other. In a lot of ways, mate, we wouldn't have maybe attempted Razor Rain in a television show had it not been in the video game, because it's such a massive visual element. I think our special effects boys went through 400 meters of detonated cord. They're very happy, by the way. Just creating some of those Razor Rain effects in the town and out in the Badlands. And also the Hellbugs was another enormous undertaking for us visually as a TV show. So oftentimes, each one makes the other one work much harder than we would normally choose to.
And I think you wanted to know about the iPhone and iPad. You wanted to know if it would be an app.
Yeah, we're not looking to put the game on either of those devices, but we're certainly looking at ways to integrate, you know, apps to be able to, you know, influence the game itself, so that you can play the game, you know, in some respect anywhere you are. That's always important for us. We did it with our first game, Rift, and we're definitely looking to do it with Defiance.
But I will say, if you're rocking the iPad, definitely check out the Syfy Sync app, because it's something that when you're watching the show, you can sync in, and it gives a completely different viewing experience. Plug. Not a spoiler.
He gets $50 for that.
Every time he says Syfy apps, Syfy apps. Sync.
You're welcome.
These are going to be the last 2 questions, I'm sorry to say.
So I'm one of the guys that I play the game a lot, that 20 million hours. I want my crystals back, by the way.
Yeah, wait till the player meets Nolan again.
Yeah.
I've ripped off everybody in this room.
I picked up a really nice gun since then. My question actually ties back to the big hellbug back there a little bit. I really like some of the factions that you see in the game a lot that haven't showed up yet in the show. Dark Matter, Scrappers, the 99ers. I'm just wondering when we're going to start seeing those particular factions tie into the show itself.
Well, I'm not going to tell you exactly when you're going to be seeing those things, but you will be seeing more elements from the game in the show in second season.
yeah, we'll be tangling with more and more stuff.
So last question, sadly. Wish we could stay here all day.
This question is to Jamie Murray. Hi. My question is, do you prefer dragon's blood or unicorn tears? Which is better? And also, has Joanne Kelly gotten you your Happy Meal on the Defiance set?
I'm going to find her. She's here, so I'm going to find her and get my Happy Meal. You know, I just find that dragon's blood for the ends. I just like to have a cold rinse with unicorn tears. That's just the way I roll.
Rob and Kevin for making this a really fun hour. Thank you to the fans, you're incredible.
Created this amazing world, and then in season 2 we're able to kind of flip it and destroy it.
And occupy it.
So I have to ask the question that's on everyone's mind. Did Stama really love or have feelings for Kenya? And or did she kill her? And I love shows where those questions go together so well.
She sure looked dead to me.
She was very convincing.
I think that I enjoyed the experience, and just because you kill somebody, it does not mean that you didn't love them. If you think that is the case, you have never truly been in love.
I'd keep an eye on your
Or maybe it's just the characters I play.
I love you to death. Who said she's dead anyway?
You know, I couldn't truly say that nobody will ever love Kenya as much as I loved her ever again.
They were sort of a lesbian Sid and Nancy.
So Jesse, Alec's going to have to step up this season. He's the man of the family, right? And he's establishing his own family, and yet he's got to deal with his parents' drama, which is endless. Is it kind of a different dynamic for him?
Yeah, it's just father issues. Sums up that character. And mother issues too. Yeah, big time parenting issues.
Honestly, I think if I were your character, mate, I'd have far more mother issues than father.
Yeah.
That hug outside the bath, that was wrong.
But the family now are totally normal.
They didn't have to twist my arm to shoot that.
Humans are so caught up on your body.
You're hung up on your bodies.
What is it you say in this world? Incest is best. I don't know what.
One of those things that we say on set that you actually shouldn't say when you're not on set.
These are the people I keep nothing from.
I still remember the day when they shot that scene, and then I was with Jesse and Jamie after, and Jesse was like, Jamie kissed me in the scene, and I was like, what? She kissed me, and I said, well, how did that make you feel? Confused.
It's actually show me on the teddy bear where the bad actor.
Show me on the plush toy where.
It takes a while when you shoot a scene, and at one point, Jesse came in and he kind of flung himself on the bed and he went, oh my God, I'm so confused. And I went, oh honey, you're a teenager. That's a good feeling, stay there.
Remember when we were shooting that, our director, Michael Nankin, after the first take, Jamie kissed me, and then the second take, Michael came up to me and said, you know what would be weirder? If you kissed her back. I said, I'll try it.
I'll try it a dozen times, see if it works. Yeah.
So Stephanie, is Arissa like a god now? Are they gonna? Is it all gonna be like worship Arissa time in season 2?
Well, they worship me anyways.
She's a ginger god.
She's the most petulant god in existence.
Who knows? I'm waiting to find out myself. So yeah, they're questions for Kevin, definitely.
Arissa's fate will be front and center of the season 2 premiere, and we will learn something about it that will raise many, many, many more questions.
Well, it seems like Nolan and Arissa, basically when season 1 began, it was all about, like, much of it was about their relationship and how they come together and the frictions between them. Then they went through a whole bunch of changes. Are you, as actors, kind of hoping there's an evolution or change in their relationship, just to keep it fresh, or did you like how, you want to kind of keep it the same?
I feel sad. I don't want it to change too much. I mean, Arissa's growing up, so there's changes that will naturally occur. I mean, just as a girl of her age as well as being an alien. So he's got to deal with all that.
Yeah, and Nolan's slowly growing up too, which is really, really sad actually, because I love it like he is. But I think there's so much ground and room in that relationship. It's definitely the best and richest and most wonderful parent-child relationship I've ever played. So I love it. And you know, Steph is a great actress because she does manage to be like a really petulant teenage a lot, and I know that's a lot of work for her in the morning to do all of that acting, so it's great.
So Jamie, with Stama, we could think of what happens with her in season 2 as a career change, but I don't, because I think she was really the one running things along in some ways. So is it more of a transition than a radical change for her?
Well, you know, Stama comes from such a different society, and here she is with her family unit, kind of trying to sustain it in a brand new world, but surrounded by other women who are far more liberated. And I think that, you know, Casteth and men, they put their women in cages, and I think that she was trying to control from within that cage, but maybe this season she has got a taste of what it's like on the outside world.
It's sort of the classic story of the immigrant woman who has come and the social mores of the old country no longer apply. Yet the patriarch of the family doesn't necessarily recognize that, and it's the struggle of, as you integrate into a melting pot society, how do you balance the way things used to be, where you came from, and the way things are where you live now? And that's one of the fundamental things that's carrying the fabric of our family in season 2.
That's what is so exciting for me about the show, is that we've built such an intricate society and this brand new world, but really it gives us a new way of looking at such important and relatable themes from a brand new perspective, and talking about some really interesting, important issues. And yeah, in the first season we created...
We're rehearsing all the time.
By the way, it's a really tough job.
I just am trying to wrap my head around the fact, or someone thought the Tar family could be weirder. I can't comprehend that. So, what is it like to be resurrected, Grant?
You know, it's no big deal. I don't know if anyone knows this, but on IMDb I actually played Jesus Christ a few years ago. So, in a movie in Peru. They should. So this is actually my second resurrection.
Third time's the charm.
It's just going to become like another day at the office. It's very strange coming back from the dead. By the way, I know everything about all of you. And some of it's disgusting. It's very antisocial.
So, in terms of season 2, I have a feeling, Little Bird told me, that we're going to be seeing some towns maybe outside of Defiance. Maybe Nolan's going to be on the road.
We are going to visit New Los Angeles.
We've been meeting friends and playing well with others and sharing toys.
And Pinks is still there in the future.
Still there.
So on the road looking for Arissa, and what is running, like, just, come on, I want your character and Amanda to just get together already.
Oh, this is here.
I'm in the wrong business.
Well, I can pitch you an idea, Kevin. You know, season 2 opens.
Bring it.
Amanda's out of a job, her sister's missing, everything's a mess. So in a weak moment.
Very weak moment.
That's what I count on. Weak moment.
That's your stock and trade. But seriously, Amanda's life is terrible, right? Is that, for an actress, is that fun to play that like everything's basically falling apart for her?
Yeah, no, it's really, I'm really excited about season 2 because it's good to see everything kind of stripped away and Amanda just really having to deal with a lot of crap.
Stucco.
So yeah, it's exciting. I mean, that's what makes this show so much fun to work on is that you just never know what's going to happen next.
I get involved.
I hear rumblings are on the way.
I know.
Shut up, people.
Nolan, can you go take care of that? Detect Tar.
Woohoo!
Although I'm a little sad, as I told Tony earlier, that Detect Tar does not have a Scottish accent, because that would be amazing, right?
Maybe season 2.
Thank you all for coming to the Defiance panel. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know I'm very excited. And I'm not going to say a lot, except that this is a kick-ass cast, and you are kick-ass fans. And let's bring you together. First of all, I'd like to introduce Mr. Kevin Murphy, the executive producer and
All right.
Grant Boulder. Beautiful Julie Benz. The beautiful Stephanie Hernandez. Teresa. I'm only a little scared of this guy. Tony Curran, daytime talk. And she's the real power behind the throne. Miss Jamie Murray. Stama. And Jesse Mack, Electar. And Rob Hill, senior producer, Tryon World for the game. So we have a little reel for you of highlights from all the crazy stuff that went down in season 1 of Defiance. Let's roll that. Pretty cool. So Kevin Murphy, I'm going to start with you. It seems like the things that happened at the end of the season essentially put a lot of people out of work or basically destroyed their lives. Nice going. But Arisa is in a different place. Amanda, Lord only knows what's going on with you. The Tar family has encountered a few difficulties. So it basically, is everyone to start out season 2 in a different place? Is it going to be like a radical reboot kind of?
Yeah, the goal for the end of season 1 was to essentially take the chessboard and flip it up and knock all the pieces all over the place. So every single character has a reset at the end of the season. Nolan is trying to figure out what happened to Arisa. What happened to Arisa is a big mystery. The Tar family, Daytag obviously is no longer there. What happened to Daytag is something that we'll have to wait to find out until the premiere. But in the meantime, Stama has taken over the crime family with Alex.
Crime family?
Just trying to.
Amanda.
There's a help up. There's a help up.
Oh, nice.
I did it.
It's a friendly
Okay, I'm sitting here and like do nothing but look at it. Amanda is in a new line of work. Also, you can make of that what you will. It's a very interesting line of work.
He's not actually an alien, he's from Edinburgh.
Talking with an accent. Hey, Sam, I've had enough of this rubbish.
I mean, Jamie could do sort of a South London. Hey, Tad.
I didn't think there was a difference between being from Edinburgh and being an alien.
I'm a Norwegian, so that's sort of an illegal alien.
So, this is a huge, basically Daytag achieves his ambition, the town is his, and then everything just falls completely apart. He's such a powerful, driven, obsessive, possibly crazy guy. How do you think that this impacts him? Like, what's next for him? Is he just broken or fighting back harder than ever?
Well, I think that in many ways, Stammer obviously helped, fine-tune this blunt instrument, the Daytag, and he was doing well. And then, unfortunately, like a leopard sometimes just can't, unfortunately, change their spots, and he unfortunately very shortly into his mayorship. It was Daytag in the library with the letter opener. I think somebody tweeted that actually, it was quite funny. I guess he screwed up big time, and unfortunately next season, all I can say is that in the first few episodes, I won't be bathing with my gal. So Daytag isn't in Defiance in season 2 at the moment. I can't really say where he is, but he's not living at home.
He's making new friends.
He's gone to San Diego.
They don't take baths.
Daytag takes a shower.
That's an aberration to him, actually. Has to shampoo his hair.
Soap on a rope. Soap on a rope, that's what they call Daytag.
Soap on a rope.
White is the new black. Yeah. Alrighty.
Moving swiftly on. He's trying to improve himself, but I think in season 2 that his time away from Defiance, there's certain situations that he gets into that may hopefully change the way Daytag thinks and
Trying to
feels.
improve himself. He's reading a lot of self-help books in season 2. Power of Now, The Art of Happiness. Well, I think he tried to improve himself by marrying Stana, but I'm not really sure he deserves her. You can only pull a Cassithan up so much.
Plaster over a scar, I guess.
Well, my secret theory about Defiance is that it's about strong women in